There's a distinct difference between an older man who naturally turns heads and one who unintentionally makes women inwardly cringe. You've likely seen both types. There's a silver-haired man at the bar, exuding quiet confidence, effortlessly drawing younger women into his orbit with his composed demeanor and self-assured presence. Then there's the other type, the one who tries too hard, unaware that he is embarrassing himself in the process. This isn't just about physical appearance. It never is. Attraction is about presence, energy, and self-awareness. Nothing turned a younger woman off faster than an older man who attempts to act in a way he believes she wants him to, rather than embracing and owning who he actually is. If younger women seem intrigued by you initially but then quickly lose interest, chances are you're making a crucial mistake without even realizing it. One of the most common missteps is attempting to act younger instead of owning your age. Nothing is more off-putting to a younger woman than an older man desperately clinging to youth. You've seen this before, the man wearing sneakers designed for teenagers, dropping outdated slang into conversation, and trying to stay relevant by referencing the latest TikTok trends, even though he barely understands them. The reality is, he isn't fooling anyone. He isn't 25 anymore, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, it's more than fine, it's an advantage. Younger women aren't drawn to older men because they want another version of a 25-year-old. They see qualities that younger men often lack: stability, depth, life experience, and a strong sense of self. The moment an older man starts mimicking youth, he loses the very essence that makes him attractive. When he tries too hard, he appears unnatural, awkward, and, most importantly, insecure. Imagine walking into a bar and spotting a man in his 40s wearing a backward cap, an oversized hoodie, and sneakers that cost more than his rent, speaking in phrases like "no cap" and "fi." Instead of coming across as young and cool, he simply looks out of place. There's a reason why someone like Sean Connery continued to attract admiration well into his 60s. He never pretended to be younger than he was. He embraced his age and made it look effortlessly appealing. A man who confidently embraces his age commands respect, while a man who fights against it appears desperate. The key to being attractive as an older man is not to chase youth, but to refine yourself. Instead of obsessing over trends, develop a timeless sense of style. Rather than trying to adopt Gen Z slang, focus on articulating yourself well. Thoughtfully chosen words carry far more weight than any fleeting internet phrase. Instead of forcing yourself into spaces designed for younger crowds, cultivate an environment that naturally draws people toward you. At the end of the day, women, especially younger women, aren't looking for a man still trying to figure himself out. They are drawn to a man who knows exactly who he is and embraces it fully. Another common mistake older men make is flaunting their wealth in a way that exposes insecurity. It's no secret that financial stability is attractive. It signals success, capability, and security. However, the moment a man starts flashing his money as if it's his only defining trait, it becomes a repellent rather than an asset. Younger women don't dislike the fact that older men have money. What they dislike is when older men act as though money is the only thing they have to offer. There is a distinct difference between a man who possesses wealth and one who uses wealth to compensate for deep-seated insecurities. Women are incredibly perceptive, and they can easily distinguish between the two. Picture this. A man in his late 40s sits across from a younger woman on a date. Within the first 10 minutes, he has already mentioned the 5-star restaurant he frequents, casually name-dropped luxury brands, and made sure she knows the exact cost of his watch. She nods and smiles politely, but internally, she's already lost interest. She isn't seeing a confident, self-assured man. She's seeing someone desperately trying to impress her. A truly successful man doesn't need to announce his success. His presence, lifestyle, and quiet confidence say everything for him. A man who constantly reminds people his wealth is far poorer than he realizes. Beyond material displays, another major turnoff is when an older man carries bitterness toward modern women and makes it a central part of his personality. Nothing will cause a younger woman to lose interest faster than a man who complains about today's dating world. You met this type before, the one who is always lamenting how women today are entitled, how things were different back in my day, and how social media has ruined everything. Yes, Times have changed, and some of these observations may hold truth, but constantly ranting about them only makes a man appear jaded and out of touch. It's the equivalent of the guy at the bar who won't stop talking about how music was better in the 80s. Rather than making him sound wise, it makes him sound bitter. When a man frequently complains about women and dating, he unintentionally reveals three unappealing traits. First, that he feels powerless in the dating world. Second, that he harbors unresolved resentment. And third, that he refuses to adapt to change and would rather blame others. There is nothing less attractive than a man who blames the world for his circumstances instead of taking charge of his own life. Younger women don't dislike older men, but they do dislike older men who carry a victim mentality. Another significant mistake is being overly possessive and controlling. The more a man tries to grip tightly onto a woman, the more quickly she will slip away. Nowhere is this truer than in relationships. Younger women don't want to feel like they're being suffocated or controlled by an older man who is trying to dictate their every move. A healthy, confident man trusts his partner and allows her the freedom to be herself. On the other hand, a man who constantly needs reassurance, who tries to control where she goes and who she spends time with, only ends up pushing her away. Women are drawn to men who are secure in themselves, not those who rely on control as a way to mask their own insecurities. Ultimately, being an attractive older man isn't about trying to be young, flashing wealth, or complaining about the state of the world. It's about owning who you are, refining yourself, and embodying confidence, depth, and self-assurance. Women, especially younger ones, aren't looking for a man trying to relive his youth. They are looking for one who has mastered his life. Many younger women feel a natural attraction to older men, but that attraction can quickly turn into suffocation when those men unknowingly begin to exhibit controlling behaviors. At first, it might seem like simple concern or care, asking her to text when she arrives somewhere safely, questioning who she's going out with, or commenting on her outfit. But over time, those small concerns can evolve into subtle control. Questions shift from curiosity to expectation. Why didn't you answer my call immediately? Why are you hanging out with those friends? I don't trust other men around you. Before she realizes it, what once felt like affection turns into a restrictive environment where she feels more like someone's possession than an equal partner in the relationship. This pattern of behavior is something many older men fall into, often without realizing it. Most men are not naturally controlling, but life experiences shape them into believing they must be. By the time a man reaches his 40s or 50s, he has likely endured deep emotional wounds. Perhaps a devastating breakup that caught him off guard, a painful experience of losing a partner to someone he perceives as more desirable, or the realization that he now has to compete with younger, more attractive men for a woman's attention. These experiences create fear and insecurity, leading him to believe that if he exerts control over his partner, he can prevent her from leaving. He convinces himself that monitoring her actions, checking her phone, or dictating her social circle will ensure loyalty and faithfulness. However, he fails to see that these behaviors do the exact opposite. Rather than fostering connection, they drive her away. Control does not make a woman stay. It makes her feel trapped, suffocated, and ultimately eager to escape. Another common mistake older men make is speaking down to their younger partners, treating them like inexperienced children rather than equals. This often happens unintentionally, slipping into conversations without the man realizing how it sounds. Because he has more life experience, he assumes it is his role to correct, educate, or explain things in a way that diminishes her excitement. Imagine a young woman enthusiastically sharing something new she has learned, a fascinating book, an interesting fact, or a personal passion. Instead of engaging with her excitement, the wrong kind of man responds dismissively. "Oh, that's cute. You just figured that out?" Or, "Yeah, I've known that for years. Trust me, you don't really understand how it works yet." While seemingly harmless, this kind of response has an immediate impact on attraction. Rather than making her feel valued and understood, it makes her feel small and insignificant. Women, especially younger women, do not want to be lectured or made to feel naive. They crave a partner who listens, engages, and appreciates their perspective, not someone who constantly positions himself as superior. Older men often mistakenly believe that their greatest value in a relationship comes from being the knowledgeable teacher. While there is nothing wrong with sharing wisdom, the delivery matters. A man who speaks down to his partner unknowingly damages the very connection he seeks to maintain. In the end, attraction is not about dominance or control. It is about mutual respect, emotional security, and genuine connection. A man who makes a woman feel safe, appreciated, and heard will always be more attractive than one who tries to impose his will on her. An older man can either make a woman feel inspired or make her feel inadequate. One will naturally attract her, while the other will push her away. Women are drawn to men who uplift them, who ignite their ambition and confidence, not those who make them feel small or unintelligent. The way a man carries himself plays a crucial role in how a woman perceives him. Attraction at its core is highly visual. No matter how intelligent, successful, or charismatic a man may be, his appearance still plays a significant role in the initial impression he makes. Many older men unknowingly put themselves at a disadvantage by neglecting their physical appearance. Somewhere along the way, they stop caring about how they look, convincing themselves that style is for the young, that they have no one left to impress, or that if a woman truly likes them, it will be for their personality alone. However, this mindset ignores an undeniable truth. Women are naturally attracted to men who take care of themselves. This does not mean an older man must chase fashion trends or try to dress like someone half his age. Instead, he must present himself as someone who values and respects his own appearance. When a man stops putting in effort, a woman does not interpret it as a sign of deep intellectualism or rejection of materialistic values. Instead, she sees it as a reflection of his overall attitude toward life. She thinks, if this is how little effort he puts into himself, how little effort will he put into me? Once that thought crosses her mind, attraction fades. Many older men develop a false sense of security when it comes to their appearance. Perhaps they were in a long-term relationship or marriage where they no longer felt the need to impress their partner. Maybe they achieved a certain level of success and assumed that status alone would be enough. Over time, they became comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of attraction. A woman wants to see a man who continues to value himself regardless of his age. Women are not repelled by older men. In fact, they often find them highly attractive. However, they lose interest in men who appear to have given up. The difference between looking old and looking distinguished comes down to self-respect. There's a reason why men like George Clooney, Idris Elba, and Pierce Brosnan remain highly desirable despite their age. They don't try to look young. They embrace their years with confidence, sophistication, and an undeniable sense of style. They dress like men who take pride in themselves, and that self-respect is what women find irresistible. Another common mistake older men make is acting as if they know everything. Experience and wisdom are valuable, but they can also create an unintended arrogance. Many older men assume that because they have lived longer, seen more, and learned from life's challenges, they automatically have superior knowledge. Without realizing it, they fall into the habit of lecturing younger women, believing they're being helpful when, in reality, they come across as condescending. Imagine a woman talking about something she is passionate about, a book she just read, a new business idea, or a hobby she enjoys. The man who understands attraction listens, engages, and encourages her enthusiasm. However, the man who ruins the moment responds with dismissive statements like, "Actually, that's not how it works," or "You're too young to really understand this. Let me explain it the right way." He believes he is sharing wisdom, but to her, it feels like he is belittling her thoughts. This attitude is deeply unattractive because it sends one clear message: I don't respect your mind. No woman, no matter her age, wants to feel like her ideas and opinions are being dismissed. A truly attractive man, regardless of age, knows how to share his experiences without making a woman feel small. He doesn't dominate the conversation. He engages in it as an equal. There is nothing wrong with an older man dating a younger woman. In fact, such relationships can be incredibly fulfilling when approached with the right mindset. However, certain behaviors will quickly lead to failure. Acting controlling, insecure, condescending, or appearing as if he has given up on himself will only push her away. Attractiveness is not about age. It is about self-worth. A man who values himself remains desirable at 40, 50, or even 60. He understands the importance of maintaining his confidence, independence, and physical presence. He gives a woman space instead of suffocating her, listens instead of lecturing, and stays sharp instead of letting himself go. When a man embodies these qualities, age becomes irrelevant. Women will naturally be drawn to him.